traveling today, but it's wonderful to do this meditation while I'm traveling, visiting a university. But I found a quiet spot here, and I'm going to be talking to you about Darshan and about the distractions to Darshan. So, um, like I said, Darshan is all about the feeling of oneness. We want to see our Guru. We want to see the seekers of our Guru. We want to see the darshan of ourselves. But this world brings in a lot of distractions. There is the cheerless chatter of technology, the relentless demands of daily life, persistent pull of anxieties, that of worries. If you think about it, the constant buzzing of phones, the never-ending to-do lists, and all these worries that won't quit. So the question then becomes, how do we have darshan? How do we bring oneness into our world despite all the distractions that we have? All these things that really mess with our ability to soak in to the meaningfulness of life, the meaningful moments of darshan, the glimpses of beauty. And to kind of go into this, I thought it would be good to start with our Guru Nanak's Shabad, Darshan Dekh. And then I have a couple more Shabads that I'll share. One is an older one by Guru Nanak, Har Bin Jio, and there's another one that is a brand new composition from last week by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Mohani. That's in Ragas. So before we start that, let's listen to Guru Nanak, Darshan Dekh, Bhai Mat Puri, and then we'll discuss this.
दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी 68 माजन चरण है धूरी दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी 68 माजान चरण है धूरी ऐसो दास मिले सुख होई दुख विसरै पावै सच सोई दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी 68 माजन चरण है धूरी नेत्र संतोखे एक लिव तारा जहवा सूची हर रस सारा दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी 68 माजन चरण है धूरी सच करनी अब अंतर सेवा, मन तृप्ता से अलख अभेवा, दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी, 68 जन चरण है दूरी। जह जह देखो तह तह साचा, बिन बूझे झगरत जग काचा, दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी, 68 जन चरण है दूरी। गुर समझावे सोझी होई, गुरुमुख विरला बूझे कोई, दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी, 68 जन चरण है दूरी। कर कृपा रखो रखवाले, बिन बूझे पशु भय बेताले, दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी, 68 जन चरण है दूरी। गुर कहया अवर नहीं दूजा, किस कहो देख करो अनपूजा, दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी, 68 जन चरण है दूरी। संत हेत प्रभ त्रिभुवन धारे, आत्म चीन सुतत विचारे, साच हृदय सच प्रेम निवास, प्रणवत नानक हम ताके दास, साच हृदय सच प्रेम निवास।
दर्शन देख भई मत पूरी 68 मज्जन चरने धूरी. These beautiful Shabads connect us to our oneness. They connect us to the Darshan, to the Prabhu, to the oneness, to ourselves. That's why we feel we are connected. And through this Sangat, we are connected. Some beautiful comments came by, and I wanted to share some of them. One of them is by Prernaji. She says, looking forward, Sat Sri Akal to everyone. Darshan Dekh is creating and weaving its magical spell. Absolutely. The words and the poems of the Guru are so magical, especially when you put them inside. And that's why I tend to take a longer time doing these Shabads, not just the 10 minutes, the 5 minutes, but the hour. But then not just that hour, that next week. And then not just that next week, but that next month, next couple of months. By the time you repeat the Shabad goes inside, and then the Shabad starts talking to you. That's when you know the Guru is with you. She says, Darshan Dekh is creating and weaving its magical spell. It encompasses the wisdom in one Shabad. Blessings to you for picking this jewel. Still playing. Prernaji also mentions that she's reminded of Guru Nanak's other words here. Give satyara hoiye, give kude tutte pal. How can we become truthful, and how can we see the truth? So I want to share this full poem. Let me see if I can do it from here. Yes, I can. Yay. So we were going through the Shabad, and as you know, Darshan Dekh is about pilgrimages. And Guru Nanak's first body is also starting talking about pilgrimages. Guru Nanak says, Soche soch na hui, je sochi lakhwa. Even if you take baths hundreds or 1,000 times, the mind does not cleanse. Soche soch. You cannot get pure just by taking a bath. The mind doesn't get pured by having the body take a bath. Chuppe chup na hoi. The mind does not quieten just because you're sitting quiet. Bhukhya bhuk na utri. Just because you're not hungry, if you've had enough food or if you've had enough wealth, your mind still is hungry. The hunger of the hungry is not appeased by piling up loads of worldly goods. Sahaj syanapa lakh hoye ta ik na chalena. If you are very, very clever and knew a lot of tricks, not one is going to go with you to the next world. This all ends here. So then the question becomes, Kiv satyara hoiye, kiv kude tutte pal, hukam rajai chalna, nanak likhya naal. How can I become truthful? Guru Nanak says, by obeying the hukam, by being in the command. And then the question arises, what is the hukam? And that's why we read Bani. That's why we go to the Das, S.O. Das. Let me meet someone who is inspiring. Because they will be singing, and because they are singing, they'll remind you that you need to be singing. Because what they've done is they've removed all the distractions in the world. What other distractions? Guru Nanak talks about some of these distractions in this Shabad. Har bin jiyo, jal bal jao. He says, Moti ta mandar usre, ratni ta ho jadao. If I had a palace made of pearls inlaid with jewels, Kastur kungu agar chandan leep ave chao. And if I were scented with musk and saffron and sandalwood, Li pave chao, and it would be delightful. Chao. I would love this. But let me not see these beautiful things and be distracted. Mat dekh bhula visre tera chit na ave no. Let me not be distracted by all these beautiful things. Because without hari, the life is scorched. It's burnt. We burn. He gives other examples. He says, Dharti tahire lal jarti palang lal jadao. If the floor of my palace that is made, it was a mosaic of diamonds and rubies, and if my bed was encased with rubies, Morni mukh mani so hai, kare rang pasao. And if heavenly beauties with their faces adorned with emeralds, they try to entice me with these gestures of love, let me not be distracted. Mat dekh bhula visre tera chit na ave nao. What can distract us is also these things that we think are religious. We think we are bowing our heads, we think we're going to pilgrimages, we think we're doing pujas, but what we're doing is being distracted. Siddh hova, siddh lai, riddh siddh akha ao. If I become a siddha and work miracles and I summon wealth, Gupat pargat hoye baitha, lok rakhe bhao. And people would say, wow, this person knows so much, he can become invisible and visible whenever he wants. Even then he says, Mat dekh bhula visre, tera chit na ave nao. Let me not distracted by these. Even if I become the king and I'm sitting on my throne and have a large army and have all the wealth that I need, Sultan hoa mail laskar takat rakha pao. Even that, let me not be distracted. Let's listen to this Shabad, and through this Shabad, remember how to become truth. Kiv satyara hoiye, kiv kude tutte pal. Also remember, this Shabad is in Rag Shri. Shri is Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is true wealth. The Guru is trying to say the true wealth is not all these things that distract us. The wealth, the palaces, the houses, the loves of the world, beautiful people, whether it is getting on a throne, those aren't what will give you eternal peace. They're just distractions. Let's listen to the Shabad in Rag Shri. Har bin jiyo, jal bal jao.
गुर पूछ देखा मैं आपड़ा गुर पूछ देखा अवर नाही थाओ अवर नाही थाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जा हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ। मोतीता मंद ऊस रे रत्नीता होए जड़ाओ। कस्तू कुंगू अगर चंदन लीप आवे चाओ। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाव। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ। हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ। 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 धरती ताही रे लाल जड़ती पलंग लाल जड़ाओ। मोहणी मुखमणि सो है करे रंग बसाओ। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित नावे नाओ। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित न आवे नाओ। हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ। हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ। हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ। सिद्ध होवा सिद्ध लाई रिध आखा आओ। कुपत परघट होए बैसा लोक राखै भाव। मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित्त नावे नावो मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित्त नावे नावो मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित्त नावे नावो हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ 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 सुल्तान होवा मेल लश्कर तख्त राखा पाओ सारे सा नि धा पा मा गा रे सा रे नि सा रे मा पा नी सा प नि सुल्तान होवा मेल लश्कर सारे सा नि धा पा मा पा मा गा रे नि सा सारे सा नि सा रे सा पा दा पा मा पा दा पा सारे सा नि सा सुल्तान होवा मेल लश्कर तख्त राखा पाओ हुक्म हासिल करी बैठा नानका सब वाओ मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित्त नावे नाओ मत दे मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित्त नावे नाओ मत देख भूला विसरे तेरा चित्त नावे नाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ मैं अपना गुर पूछ देखा मैं अपना गुर पूछ देखा अवर नाही थाओ अवर नाही थाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ हर बिन जियो जल बल जल जाओ
हर बिन जियो जल बल जाओ. Guru Nanak is reminding us that there are so many distractions. To have darshan of oneness, you need to remember the name despite all the distractions. There would be two ways of doing that. One is to give up this world and go to a forest and live there. The other one would be to stay here and despite having all the distractions, be in love with the one. I have a wonderful special guest with me today, Her name is Anika. Let's see if we can add her to the scene. Yes, I can. Yay, there she is. Um, so Anika will be talking to us right after this next Shabad that we play. Um, the next Shabad is about distractions. It's about Maya. Let me share that with you. Let's see if I can bring that up. The Shabad is Mohani. It's in Rag Sarang. This is a Shabad that I've hardly heard anyone sing. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, Mohani mohat rahe na hori. Mohani or Maya, the one that attracts us. Mohat rahe. Mohani, Maya keeps enticing us. Mohat rahe. Na hori. It doesn't stop. Heri or hori means stop. It doesn't stop. It's always surrounding us. It's always distracting us. It's preventing us from having the darshan. It's not just us. Even the best of the best seekers, the siddhas, the sadhiks, all these seekers, they are attracted to this Maya. No one can break away from her. Even the ones who've read the six shastras, they visit pilgrimages. It doesn't decrease her power. If you do puja, if you have these religious marks, if you do fasting, if you do vows, you do penance, it really does not release her hold. Let's listen to this beautiful Shabad. It's a new composition, just created it last week, and I'm playing it for you. And then right after this, I will be talking to Anika, and also we have a poem by a wonderful poet called Sarbjit Madan, and he emailed this poem to me. I'll be sharing that. So before that, let's play the Shabad Mohani. Here we go.
मोहनी मोहत रहे ना भोरी मोहनी मोहत रहे ना भोरी साधक सिद्ध सगल की प्यारी साधक सिद्ध सगल की प्यारी टूट न काबू तोरी मोहनी मोहत रहे ना बोरी मोहनी मोहत रहे ना बोरी घट शास्त्र उच्चरत रसनागर तीरथ गवन न थोरी पूजा चक्र भरत नेम तपिया ऊहा गैल न छोरी मोहनी मोहत रहे ना बोरी मोहनी मोहत रहे ना बोरी मोहनी अंत कूप में है पतित होत जग संतों करो परम गत मोरी साध संगत नानक भयो मुक्ता दर्शन पेखत भोरी मोहनी मोहत रहै ना बोरी मोहनी मोहत रहै ना बोरी साधिक सिद्ध सगल की प्यारी टूट न काबू तोरी मोहनी मोहत रहै ना बोरी मोहनी मोहत रहै ना बोरी मोहनी मोहत रहै ना होरी
So that was Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Shabad, Mohani. Let me just go over this just for a bit, and Anka is here with us. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, अंधकूप में पतित होत जग संतों करो परम गत मोरी साध संगत नानक भयो mukta darshan pekat bhori. I'm having a little bit of problem with the technology because I'm out here, and let's see if you can still hear me. That's great. I wanted to share with you, and until that time I'll let Anika start her mic, because her mic is off right now. It's on mute. So Sarabjit ji sent me a message. He says, I and my wife came to Narayana Gurdwara during your recent visit to India to listen to your singing. In our conversation, I had shared that I was about to launch a poetry book, and I had actually asked Sarabjit ji to share some of his poetry and to write to me. So he did, and here's his email. What I wanted to share with everyone is, on 4th May, he's launching his book called Udari, and he's going to be at Bhai Veer Singh's Sadan. He mostly writes about love. He has some very interesting poems on his YouTube. I'd encourage you all to watch that. And I'll play or I'll recite one of his poems. I really like this one. This is the one he sent me. He says, O ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਵਰਗਾ, O ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਵਰਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਹੱਸਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਵਾਦ ਆਏ, ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੇਰੀ ਯਾਦ ਆਏ, ਮੈਂ ਤੱਕਾਂ ਲੱਗੇ ਗਹਿਰਾਈ ਤੇਰੀ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਰਾਂ ਤੁਰੇ ਪਰਛਾਈ ਤੇਰੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਹੰਝੂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਿਜ਼ਾਜ ਤੇਰਾ, ਮੇਰਾ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ ਤੇਰਾ, ਮੈਂ ਲੰਘਾਂ ਤੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਆਹਟ ਤੇਰੀ, ਮੈਂ ਮੰਗਾਂ ਲੱਗੇ ਚਾਹਤ ਤੇਰੀ, मैं लिखां ते लगे सोच तेरी, मैं रंगां ते लगे खोज तेरी, ओ कहंदे मैं तेरे वर्गा. And this is the picture that Sarabjit ji took with us when I was there. So here we are. Anika, wonderful to have you. We'll switch to you. I don't know how long I might last, because I'm showing I have maybe 10-11% battery left. But there's some videos that Anika wanted to show you, and I wanted to share how beautiful the work that she's doing with returning to love. So Anika, if you can tell us a little bit about returning to love, and then we will look at these videos. This ends sort of our meditation, but we'll talk about about returning to love, and there are some very interesting videos that Anika has picked for us. So go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vijay, for having me. I just wanted to check with the sound. You can hear me well?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can hear
great.
you well.
Okay. Okay, great. Before I get into the returning to love part, I just want to acknowledge the whole, this meditation session so far. And you know what I really like about these shabads that you've picked, and everything that you said and Guru Nanak Sahib said is like the darshan with oneness is so beautiful, and it's almost like a beautiful addiction to me. And like it's everything is so poetically expressed, even when we're talking about maya, even that's like in a poetry form. And I'm reminded of this line that we have in our ardas. Everybody says that we should be in chardi kala, but there's a line before that, Nanak Naam Chardi Kala, Tere Bhane Sarbata Bala, which is like if we are in his remembrance, Chardi Kala is a byproduct of that remembrance. So that is such a, I mean, I can make those connections so well. It's not like you can be in Chardi Kala, then the liability is on you. But when you're in his remembrance and when you are addicted to these whole glimpses that you get, darshan of in poetry, in conversations, in pictures, in everything. The beautiful poem that you shared from Sarabjit also. He's also been a part of this whole returning to love journey. So yeah, I think the distractions just go very organically from your life. You don't have to make an effort for Maya or those things to. And I think that's kind of a good starting point for me to share about the returning to love journey. Um,
And
so
before
very
before you
brief.
start before you start, Anika, I'm going to mention that we've tried to do this two times now, and this is the third time, and we figured out all the technology glitches. They were sort of like distractions, right? And now we're trying to figure out, this is going to work. And I thought I had figured out everything. We had no distractions today. We had figured out the technology, and I'm running out of battery, and I might have maybe 2 or 3%, and it's possible that we
Right.
run out of battery right as you're
Mm,
saying something. So why don't we
mm,
make it short? And I think
mm.
I think the guru is warning you to come back to this program every week.
I think
that's
so too.
that's
So,
that's why this is happening.
so
Like
to
that,
Samsung Vijay,
he creates an absolutely new reason every week to call you. There's a sign
yes.
there.
Oh, well, I'm gonna take it as a, like thank you, shukar every time.
So
So,
let's pick one video that we can show and
okay,
talk about,
okay.
and then let's cover some of the other videos next time. By the way, you should all go to Returning to Love. Look for Anika, Anika, and Shivpreet Singh, and you'll find the an hour and 10 minute interview, which I think is beautiful. I listened to it myself, and I found it very interesting.
Yeah.
So
So I'll talk
which
about
video
the
would you?
RTL. Well, we've had a interesting. We had an interesting conversation. So let's do on a lighter note this time. We can do with the video one.
Yeah.
How you keep me awake. Let that. Let's start with that, and I'll share about the journey next time when I'm live with you again. Okay, I think we've lost VG. Okay. Oops. I'm not sure if everyone can hear me, and I'm not sure if this video is being played. Let me keep talking about returning to love instead right now till we don't get VG back. Oops. Oh gosh. I don't know if this is working. Okay. I'm not very sure if this is working right now. Um, okay. I'm just gonna, because I'm down. Okay. Okay, so Shivpreet Viji messaged that his battery is dead. Okay. Um, I think we can continue the session next time. But I want to quickly share with you about returning to love journey and how it started for me. Or we can do it with VG. I'm not even sure if I'm audible. Okay. So why we started the Returning to Love journey? This was way back in 2022, during time of COVID, and we felt that there was a lot of fear energy around. One second, Viji is here. I think he might want to say hello to everyone. So I'll just hello, Viji. Hi. One second. Is the video still going on? Yes, there? You're there. Everyone can hear you. Yes, you can. Okay. So, should we end the meditation here? Do you wanna? Yeah, we should end the meditation here. Can you look in the camera? Yeah, because everybody's seeing you. I'm holding the phone, and maybe you can say something to everyone, and then we can end on that note. I was just about to share about the returning to love and it, like the whole thing, but I think we'll do it next week together. So, do you want to say some closing words, and then I can end this? I'm not sure if my microphone is working, but it was wonderful seeing all of you. We'll see you again next week, and we'll actually cover the same topic with a couple of new Shabads. And if my voice is not reaching, just if you can say to the and then figure out how to end it. Yeah. No, Vijay, you're absolutely audible and everyone can hear you. Okay. So, yeah, okay. You can look at the camera once. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'll just. The thing is, I don't know how to shut it off. So we'll have to work on getting onto this system and from my phone or somewhere else, and then shutting it off. Wonderful seeing you all. Anika, if you're on, maybe you can still talk a little about returning to love. That would be wonderful. Okay. I'll let you stay on the phone. Is your phone battery okay? Okay. Yeah? Yeah. My phone battery is fine. Okay. So you can stay on the call, and I'll just quickly share a little bit about returning to love. I can actually join from my phone, so let me try doing that. I'm gonna disconnect. Okay. I'll keep talking about returning to love in the meantime. Okay, I'm not sure if you could hear VG, but he's going to try to join from his phone. So let's see if we can do that. So coming back to the returning to love journey that I wanted to share with everybody. So this started in 2022 during COVID. There was a lot of fear-based communication that was going around, and we wanted to create a safe space where people could come together and we could share, mostly through poetry. So performing arts has been a huge part of what the work that we do. I'm a filmmaker otherwise, and we work with performing arts. So we started with poetry sessions together, and we started with a small circle, starting with 25 people, and it's just grown organically, and we are more than 500 people in the community now. The whole idea was to inspire people to operate from a space of love. It's easier to operate out of fear, and it's like, jo darega, wo karega. But operating from a space of love can be challenging at times, especially in relationships, in organizations, when we have to make decisions, and all of those things. So, it came from that space. And after we did about 8 editions, we thought to ourselves that what is the nichode of all of this? And one of the answers that we got was that if we know what our gifts in life are, what our purpose in life is, then it is easier to operate out of love. And we created a platform where we invited people who were living and honoring and celebrating their gifts. And we asked them to share about their gift through a performing act. And we still maintain the circle, even though we were a bigger group now, but we still maintain the circle in which we sat. And We had a beautiful session this year on 14 January 2024 in Delhi. And the energy in the room was so amazing that day. And like the focus was not on people who were performing, people who were sharing their gifts. They were just the enablers. The focus was on the audience. What are they taking away from there? And I think we're talking about darshan, and we're talking about being in his remembrance. And when we are being true to ourselves, when we know what our gifts is, what our seva in this world is, and that's also one way of staying in that remembrance. It becomes easier to be on that journey without making that effort. So that's how it was for us. And after that session, we realized a lot of feedback came from the audience, that the people who came to act and to talk about their gifts, like we were not able to go very deep into um, that conversation with them individually. So RTL Talks is something that grew very, very organically from there. And RTL Talks is a podcast now. It's video interviews that we do with people so that we are able to deep dive into the conversations. That's how it came. And we didn't even know when it was going to. One second, VG is online. I'm just asking him if he can join. We didn't really know that how when are we going to start with these RTO talks. We just had the idea. And then VG was in Delhi, and we chatted, and I shared this idea with him, and he was like, let's do it, So that's how RTL Talk started for us. And Shivpreet VG was our first guest, and we had this amazing interview together. And I would really like all of you to see it. Like VG was saying, just go on to YouTube and type Shivpreet with Anika, Anika, and see episode 1. I think I will close the meditation for now. And next time we have shortlisted a few clips from that video, which we'll show to you, and we will have a little discussion around that. You'll have a glimpse. We did a lot of deep dive conversations, and we talked about gifts, we talked about rags, we talked about Holi. There was a whole new perspective on Holi. And we also did a very fun activity towards the end where we gave situations to Vijay and we asked him what Shabad comes to mind. So I hope you really enjoy that. And it would be good if you've seen the episode, then you can participate in that conversation. So with that, I am gonna end this live session. I was hoping that Vijay can join, but looks like he won't be able to. So, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, and all of you take care.
I think I'm back. Let's see if I can see. Yes, I'm going to comment on some of these and see if we can get Anika back so we can finish the session. We'll try it this way. Prerna ji is saying Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Good listening to you, Anika. Blessings for such an amazing, spontaneous and flexible session. We have to be flexible because you don't know what's going to happen. But let's see if we can get some more comments in. Prerna ji says, "Aso das mile sukhoi, dukh visare pave sach soi." She says it ties in beautifully with finding our purpose in Darshan Day. Blessings. I believe we have Anika back, so we'll try to get her back on. Neelu ji is saying, please share about returning to love to everyone. So here we go. We will try to get back on. and she used the same computer to log back in. So now I don't have to do anything special. Here we
Yes.
are. Welcome back. I have
Thank you.
found power. I'm
Wow.
actually in Merced. I'm visiting UC Merced because one of my middle daughter is thinking of coming here, and so it's a beautiful town. You were mentioning that you were seeing the trees and the water bodies, and it's a beautiful sky out here. But now I had to come inside so I could get this power working. We're back. Um, Anika, if you can tell us more about returning to love, and let's start on the videos that we had, so we can do it now.
Yeah. So, Vijay, while we were waiting for you, I have shared about returning to love with the Sangha. So, I will not go there again.
Okay.
So, we can start with the videos. So, the
Okay.
point where we left was that I said it was wonderful to do that interview with you, and we
Right.
were very lucky that we did that. So, I said that we could see the glimpses of that interview and we could dive deep into that. I think that's very exciting. And I really want everybody to have a glimpse of what you and I experienced that day. I would call it that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I loved it. I loved the interview. I loved chatting with you, and I'm hoping that you're going to come here more regularly. If not every week, at least once a month, you'll come and you'll share whatever you're doing at Returning to Love is very consistent with what we're doing at Dunanand and these meditations. So we'd love to see you again. Which video do you
yeah.
want me to play?
Well, I wanted to start on a lighter note, and you are in a cafeteria space and, like coffee and everything. So, yeah, I think let's start with video one.
Okay.
And then,
Sometimes when I'm working late in office, and I really don't need caffeine with you. So kudos to you for my caffeine intake going down. Because all I have to do is put your shabads and, I can keep going for hours.
I'm glad that happens because sometimes people say they fall asleep listening to me. I'm glad I keep you awake.
Yes, you absolutely keep me awake.
I'm glad I keep you awake, and there's and I was mentioning to Anika, we can spend an hour on going to sleep and waking. I'm reminded of Bhagat Kabir's Shabad. He says, "Bhuli malini hai eho, Satgur jagta hai deho." We get lost in these distractions, and he's talking about the gardener's wife who cuts these leaves and offers it to the statue. But he says, how forgetful is this Malini? She doesn't know Braham Pati Bisandari Phool Sankar Deo Teen Deo Pratak Tore Kare Kiski Seo. How she's thinking she's serving the statue with these leaves, but the leaf and the tree, they are part of God. Brahmpati, the leaf is the Brahma. Brahmpati, Bisandari. Vishnu is the Dali. The Vishnu, the sustainer is the branch, right? And the leaf is the creator. And he says, Phool Sankar Deo. And the person who rejuvenates all of creation, Shiva, Phool Shankar Deo is the flower. And Teen Deo Prathak Tore, the divinity is right in front of you and you're forgetful. And the second word he uses for being forgetful is asleep, right? Bhuli malni hai oh, Satgur jagta hai deo. But the true Satguru is awake. And so I was reminded of, being not forgetful is being awake.
wow. The true Sadhguru is awake. Vijay, I just remembered a very interesting story that I want to quickly share with everybody in the audience. It's so interesting that our topic today is Darshan despite distractions. And I think listening to you so carefully and focusing on your words and not on the noise behind is a true test of understanding, what we're here to discuss. So I'm reminded of a very interesting, yeah, very interesting story that a friend of mine, Sahiba, she shared it with me, which was, about this lady who went to the Gurdwara every day, and she would come back and complain to her mother that there's so many people in the Gurdwara who are gossiping. I'm trying to focus there, and people are talking about their home affairs or the properties or other things. Why do they come to the Gurdwara if they have to not listen to Gurbani? So the mother's listening to her, and the next day she joins her, and she tells her, um, they are at this. I think we can visualize the Bangla Sahib Lake, that we have Sarovar, and gives her a glass filled with water to the brim, and tells her to take a round of around the Sarovar. So she does that, and the mother notices that there are people who are around her who are still, like, using it as a touristy place and chatting. But when the daughter finishes the rounds and comes back, and she makes it, and she's like, "Oh, I did it." So she asks her that, "Did you notice those ladies behind you who were talking?" And she's like, "What? What ladies? What were they talking? No, I have no idea." So it was so interesting, and she's like, "See, that's what it is. If you are focused and if you are in remembrance, then those outside noises they don't matter. So I feel so happy, and it's so ironic and so interesting that you are in a university space right now, and there are these noises, and all of us are focusing on your words and not getting disturbed by those noises. So I think, yeah, it's good you came in. So yeah.
Look, distractions can come in many different colors and flavors. And we were talking about, you were talking about the Gurdwara. Another incident in the Gurdwara, at some point, someone was singing a Shabad, and someone sitting behind me said, "Oh my goodness, ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ? ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਫਲਾਣਾ ਬਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ Song ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਪੜ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ." And I got a little jarred. I used to, because I've done classical music, and there came a phase where I was only doing this one style of kirtan versus the other style of kirtan. But in the end, Guru Nanak says it's love that matters. And if you're lost in the love, then the distractions don't come into play. The distraction is in our sensing, in our listening. If you could be listening to the same Shabad and you're thinking someone is dancing on some kind of music, versus someone is listening to the same Shabad and it might be the same tunes. Now, some ragis cannot help it. Some of the rags that we use in our Gurbani are also used in Bollywood, and they create some other kind of music with it. So it's always interesting to have that. I want to share a comment from Louise, who always writes some insightful things. So let's read that comment. She says, "Giving and receiving the leaves is an endless cycle, like a fountain drinking back into itself the light it gives forth. Praise eternal grace endlessly." So she's talking about how the continuity of life, and that each thing has a life. Let's play the second video and then comment on it. Yeah.
Yes, I want to give a little introduction about that video. So we were talking about celebrating our gifts. So I think it was very interesting in this interview with Shivpreet Virji. He simplifies his purpose of life, and we see that at the end of every video. And he says the purpose of life is to sing. And I had a lot of trouble understanding that, but this interview made it so clear for me what it means. So let's look at this short clip. Yeah.
He does say the purpose of life is to sing, but it starts with listening.
The purpose of life is to sing. Honestly, I'm not a great singer. So what do I do?
Singing is a metaphor for any doing, and being is also something that you do. And then in the end you're saying, you know that it's not you. The singing is coming through you. He does say the purpose of life is to sing.
So, I do say the purpose of life is to sing. I don't overtly say that this is what I've learned from Guru Nanak. And this is not the Guru Nanak that, walked on this earth. This is the Guru Nanak that's within me. This is also the Guru that has lived for ages and has no end. But it's very interesting. I know you still don't agree with it, Anika, because you keep saying the purpose of your life is to sing. My statement is the purpose of life is to sing, and the difference is, it's not a one person's purpose, or a purpose for a certain sect, or a purpose for a certain group of musicians. The purpose of life is to sing. It's everyone's purpose. The reason being, if the singing is being done by everyone that you see, it's the singing is seen through your eyes. If you're sitting here and you're thinking in terms of how Guru Nanak thought, you're looking at the trees that are singing, you're looking at the sky that is singing, the clouds are singing, the poles, even the man-made things, the cafe behind me is singing. There is a song going on, but that's not just the singing, it's just the being. The being is the singing, the vibing is the singing. And if you hear the singing, you have basically, you are in presence of God. So dar keha, so ghar keha. What is that door? Which is that house that you live in? And Guru Nanak says, oh, now I see your house is here because everyone is singing.
Yes.
Where is your house? Where all the rags are being played. So here we are.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, you have this twinkle in your eye, when you're talking about it. There's something about the purpose of life is to sing that brings so much joy, it just makes life really beautiful. And you start to look for those things, the rhythm in everything, like even when things are going wrong. Like I love that comment that somebody said about, this flexible session that we are having. So, you're like flowing with everything, like everything is in alignment. And I think these are darshan, these are glimpses of a Guru Nanak that you see in life. So, you mentioned about rags. So, let's go to the next clip, which is about rags. I feel Guru Nanak has given us such beautiful tools. Like he recognizes that there are complexities in life and there are so many emotions that we go through. It's this thing about everyone always saying be in Chardi Kala is, it's not possible like for us to do it alone. That's why being in remembrance is so important. And for me, you are the first person who's introduced rags in such a way. And this interview that I did with you was such an eye opener. And we've gone so deep into this whole thing, and the examples that you shared. So let's share that clip. There are two videos here. There's video 5 and 6. So let's look at that for everyone to get a glimpse of what we spoke.
Okay, here we go. 5.
And when you have fear, you sing Rag Bhairo. Bhai Rav. Rakha ek hamara swami, sagal kata ka antar jami. Bhaw nahi lage jaye aisi bhujiya. If you have fear, you sing, and that's in Rag Bhairo, because the protector is one. And after that Shabad, you sing Bhairo and you sing those words, and you're out. You go from fear to fearlessness, from Bhaw to Nirbhay. And when you have fear, you sing. When Guru Gobind had lost everything, his kids, his property, his mother, everyone, he'd lost everything. He still had hope and courage because he sang Asa Ki Baat. So these rags are very powerful because they balance you, get you back to the center.
The rags do get you back to the center, and that's why when we were talking about distraction today, and the two rags that we discussed in the program in your interview were Bhairo, going from from fear to fearlessness, and the other one was going from despair to hope with Rag Asa and Rag Bhairo. And today we are talking about distractions, going from distraction to darshan, or going from do, doing dokankar to ekonkar, right? From duality to unity. You need to remove the distractions, because that's the first step, right? If you need to have the darshan, the first step is to remove all the distractions. It's really the first step. So guess which rag covers distraction? Rag Shri. That's the first rag in the Guru Granth Sahib. That's a rag of the darkness, and that's why Guru Nanak, when he starts singing, he starts with Moti ta mandar usre, Ratni ta ho jadao. Don't get distracted by all this wealth. It's all temporary, right? And it starts in Rag Shri. And when he starts Japji Sahib, he also starts in the same mode. Soche soch na hoi, and that's someone suggested to talk about that again. That's rags are so important, because Rag Shri kind of hits you on your head. Rag Shri is a very tough rag, and it uses these jumps, and it's kind of scaring. It's scaring you. Look to if you don't listen, you're gonna be in this darkness forever.
Wow. Beautiful. So the next glimpse that we want everyone to have is about. So one of the interesting things about the video with you, Yuti, was the new perspectives about things. I mean, there's so many people who spoke about Holi. So we recorded this in the month of Holi, which was last month, and this whole concept about love is the only color. So वो बॉलीवुड स्टाइल में बोलते ना इश्क का रंग, that kind of a thing. But you gave such a refreshing perspective on that, which was be immersed in the colors of those who inspire you. Let's see the video, like, for everyone to see that. That's the video 4.
So if you want to be colorful, you get colored in the color of the ones that you think are glowing.
Wow.
So Holi Kini Sansev, if you find someone who is inspirationally doing amazing work, good work that you love, serve them. And by serving them, it might mean do what they're doing, do what they're inspiring you to do. And that's really holy. Get colored in the color of those who inspire you.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. I should write these things down sometimes. Get colored in the color of the ones who are inspiring you. Holi Kini Sant Sev.
And we, like, from here, I also want to take the Sangat into this beautiful activity that we did. So we had some fun during this video interview also, which was, Waiting's a storyteller. Do you all agree?
So to tell you the truth, she was doing a test on me. It's like a rapid fire test. She's going to be talking about that.
Yes, so we gave him some situations and we asked him that what Shabad comes to mind, because that's how I imagine him. He's like walking on the streets and he has a Shabad that comes to his mind for every situation. So we gave him some fun, situations like that. And there was one with that song with Devanand also, talking about Holi, when you're like looking at a flower and you're looking at the flower blossoming, then you get inspired to blossom like the flower. So, something on those lines. So let's let everybody see what we did, a glimpse of that as well, and then we'll talk about it.
I see you as a storyteller.
Okay.
You know, I see that storytelling is a big part of with the shabads, the kind of stories you tell. Like I said, it could be personal or it could be historical. And in this conversation, one thing that I have learnt about you is, I'm sure when you're in places and you see something or when you feel something, there's an automatic shabad that comes inside of you. So here what we're going to do is, I'm going to give you certain situations or stanza or poetry, and we'll have you to either share a shabad or sing a shabad as you like, you know.
Okay.
So let's do this. Let's
Okay.
have fun with this. So the first situation is, I am walking through autumn on a path hidden by drifts of kaleidoscopic leaves. I am reminded of the Robert Forrest poem, Nothing Gold Can Stay. And it's beautiful, the sun coming right now on my face. So yes, I feel connected with this poem right now in that sense as well. So it goes, nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf. So Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down today. Nothing gold can stay.
Nothing gold can stay. I'm reminded of Rag Maru because it's a rag of gold color. This sunset, and Guru Tegh Bahadur sings. कहा करूँ रे माई अब मैं कहा करूँ रे माई सकल जन्म पिखयन सो खोया सिमर्यो नाही कन्हाई अब मैं कहा करूँ रे माई अब मैं कहा करूँ रे माँ
So Anika has an amazing team, and they've obviously put some of this stuff together. And Anika also works very hard. I would encourage all of you to go look up "Returning to Love." Look up Anika. It's spelled Anika with one N. Anika. If you look up Anika and Shivpreet Singh, you'll find our interview. And I had a lot of fun doing it, and there are maybe a couple of other interviews there as well. They're fun as well. One is talking to this person who's been in the forest, and I saw a glimpse of it yesterday. I'm gonna watch it later on today. But I highly encourage everyone to go watch it. And I also Anika, you should come here more often. It's such a pleasure to see you, and with all the problems that we figured out, hopefully in the future we'll have less of those. I'm going to end with a shabad, maybe Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, and then we'll end this session. I'll see you all next week. What we're going to do next week, I'm also going to, well, maybe I shouldn't share that. What I'm going to do next week is we'll go into Maya even more deeply. The definition of Maya is given by Guru Amar Das, and he explains Maya in Anand Sahib. And so I've made a composition for it, and we'll cover that, and we'll repeat some of these shabads. And we'll keep delving into distractions and how we can get rid of them. So we'll have a second session on Darshan despite distractions next week. So until then, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Wonderful having you here, Anika. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.